corporations have had to try to legislate through initiative because the regular political process on a higher level is so broken. And we've had ill effects such as Prop 13 or the 3 strikes are out. But I think even people in Occupy LA and their one-year anniversary last week were discussing how even if you're not planning to vote for president because both presidential candidates represent the 1%, the propositions are very important, and you'll hear about them. The labeling of genetically modified foods, modifying 3 strikes are out, abolishing the death penalty. But I wanted to say that I cannot imagine myself not voting for president. I've always voted in every election since 1980. And even back in 1980, my very first presidential vote was for a third-party candidate, John Anderson. And subsequently, I've always voted for, in the primaries, the most liberal, progressive of the candidates, whether it's Ralph Nader or Jesse Jackson.
Or Jill Stein.
And this year, I will be voting for Jill Stein. And for most of you, I don't know, has everyone in this room heard of Jill Stein? Because seriously, I've been wearing this button for the past month, and people say, who's Jill Stein? I said, she's running for president, and they'll say, president of what? And that's a testament to the fact of how third parties have been excluded in this country. Did anyone listen to Democracy Now! Today? Well, Amy Goodman had on a fellow by the name of George Farah, whose organization Open Debates, and he wrote a book called No Debates. And he talked about basically how the debates were hijacked from the League of Women Voters, who ran them twice ably between 1976 and 1984. But the candidates of the major parties kept colluding to try to determine who would be the host, who would be the panelist, what controversial questions could or could not be asked. And the League of Women Voters had to, every 4 years, keep doing things out of protest. Even though John Anderson had 12% in the polls, they did not want him to speak. So the League of Women Voters had an empty chair where he would have spoken. In 84, they tried to get rid of difficult questions. In 88, they colluded to try to, I didn't write down what they did in 88, but the League of Women Voters, the League of Women...
Some bullshit. It was definitely messed up.
Protest, basically, and they said, we're not running the debates anymore. And ever since then, it's been the Commission on Presidential Debates, which is a private corporation, headed this year by Mike McCurry, Clinton's former press secretary, and a guy by the name of Frank Fahrenkopf, whose other position is president of the American Gaming Association. The biggest funder of the presidential debates is Anheuser-Busch.
You got to drink to watch that shit.
It's run jointly by the Democratic Republicans, right?
Yes, but they collude, and they basically have said that it came out in Time magazine. Mark Halperin basically released this, and he got it from whistleblowers, that they signed a 21-page document, which up until this point they did not even existed, which basically said that these candidates cannot participate in any other debate sponsored by any other organization. They will exclude all third-party candidates and controversial questions. And even tonight, Candy Crowley was told she could not ask follow-up questions. So, if you're interested in the third parties, Jill Stein, Rocky Anderson, even the Libertarian candidate, they really do offer alternatives to the 1%. They're talking to the 1% control of our country. They're talking about important issues that have not been discussed in the debates, like education, like climate issues, like the incarceration of our citizens, like the assault on civil liberties. All the things that we in the Occupy movement are concerned about are being talked about by these third-party candidates. You can go onto Democracy Now!'s website, and October 4th, she had Jill Stein and Rocky Anderson basically in real time answering the same questions that Romney and Obama were asked. On October 12th, she had Sherry Honkala and Luis Rodriguez, who were the vice presidential candidates, answer these questions, and their answers are very illustrative. And I would say that it is very important to vote if you believe in what they say, even though they can't be elected, because it's important for the next time. Although, I will say, even though I would say that in 92, when Ross Perot was very wealthy and he self-financed his campaign. No third party, right now the debates, you have to get 15% or more. No third party candidate in 100 years has gotten that. Ross Perot, who financed his campaign, got 12% in 92. But in 96, Clinton and Bush colluded to keep him out of the 96 debate. So it's very important to keep trying to push for these third-party candidates, and even just for yourself, so you can say